Hi there, and welcome to NFIRS Analytics How It's Done video series. This is where we take certain requests from organizations and essentially show you how it's done. So again, not necessarily meant to be a full video tutorial, but more so to give you some insight and just show you some ideas of things you can use. So let's get started and we'll follow along. This organization was looking to have all of their incidents broken down by NFIRS code. So NFIRS, NFIRS, whatever you call it. Down in my neck of the woods, we call it NFIRS. So that's what I'm going to go with. So they wanted to know their NFIRS codes broken down by their 100 series. If we think about this, basically what that means is in the last 1 year, they've had 10,589 incidents. And they want to break those down by the NFIRS code. So each 100, 200, 300, so forth. You guys get the idea there is what they're looking for here. So this is the end result. This is what we're going to build. I'm going to walk you through just kind of how we do it, even though I said it's not a step-by-step. It's basically a step-by-step. But what we're looking to do is recreate this visualization. And the nice thing about our visualizations is, remember, if you can build it here and in a table, you can build it any other way. Let's start from scratch, assuming we're in the visualization builder area. For those of you that don't remember how to get there, basically we just come over to any workspace, click on visualization. And one important note I will make, we can only give you the NFIRS code if it's something that you send to us. Meaning, if your RMS does not provide NFIRS Analytics the NFIRS code, then we cannot essentially pull it out of the air. We need that information sent to us. So if that's something you're interested in or you don't have, feel free to reach out to our customer success manager, and I'm sure he can get you going with that. But let's assume we have our NFIRS codes built in here and we want to build that fancy visualization. So to do that, I'm going to click on the plus sign here, and then we're going to go to Enhanced Table. We've goofed around a little bit with some of these. Some of our more advanced users have played with these, but we're going to live in the Advanced Table today. Again, the same thing would work for a bar chart or a line graph, pie chart, vertical bar, all those good things. And a lot of folks ask, what's the difference between the data table and the Enhanced Table? Well, simply put, the Enhanced Table has more features. This is kind of old school. We're going to go new school with the Enhanced Table. So I'll click on Enhanced Table here. And let's think about what we're analyzing here. We're analyzing incidents, right? We're not looking to see how many trucks are going to 300s, 400s. We want to see how many 300s are occurring. So we're going to live in fire incident. This is what we're going to click on. I click on incident. And again, thanks to Iona McGregor for allowing us to use their data for sampling. This was not the organization that requested this, but it's a good space for us to do this in. As you can see here, over the last 1 year time period, they have had 10,589 incidents. Well, we want to break that down. We want to break it down by NFIRS codes. What we're going to do is we're going to take these 10,000 incidents and we're going to put them into rows of our NFIRS codes. I'm going to click on Split Rows. And then here's where we're going to use a new feature that maybe we haven't used before. It's called the Filters feature. And what this does is very similar to the other filters. It's going to allow us to drill our data down, but we're going to get a little more specific and say we want to put all of these different 10,589 calls into their own separate bucket. And that's how we want to chop them up. So we click on Filters. And then here is where it's going to want to say, okay, Ed, what filter do you want here? I will provide a document that lists these so that you can see them. But assuming that your organization provides the NFIRS code, we can capture that and put these in those buckets. So for this particular filter, I'll give us a little more real estate here. And the field that we're going to add is this description.incident_type NFIRS code, _NFIRS code. And what we're going to say here is we're going to put our little colon there, and then we're going to say we want to look at a range. And what range we want to look at is every range where this field has a numerical value of 100 to 199. And watch what happens to our 10,589 calls here when I hit the play button. Okay, so we have 141 incidents that reside in this particular field. And then all we're going to do to repeat this is just fill in the same thing for all the other codes. Now I'm going to do some movie magic here where I go real fast and drop these in because I think you all get the idea from this concept of what 200 up to 1,000 is going to look like, where I'm going to paste each of these in. And then once we get to the end, I'll show you what we're going to do on the very last one, just so you can understand how you can find those codes that you can't see. So mind the moment here while we just do a quick montage on adding all of these other ones in. Okay, so now that we have all of these built in here, when I hit the play button, we're going to see we now have all of our NFIRS codes present here at 100. I'm going to get rid of this guy just for a moment, and then we'll circle back to him. So you can see here, of all of those incidents, we have all of them broken down or filtered and placed into buckets based on the value of what NFIRS incident type was placed in for them. And this has a lot of value when you start thinking about monthly reports, commission reports, you name it. And especially if we start looking at bar graphs and charts and stuff like that. But I want to make sure that everybody can crawl before we can walk and we start getting into the other ones. So lastly, I want to talk about is how do we find out, well, that's great, Ed, but how do we know we have all of these captured? Okay, what if we're missing some NFIRS codes? And anybody that's been around firefighters knows that eventually it's going to happen. We're going to miss a few. We're going to miss a few reports. There's going to be a few open incidents out there, all sorts of different things. So we're going to create a filter that says, give me everything that's not between 100 and 999. Sounds like a Price is Right thing there. But at any rate, I'm going to hit add filter, and then I'm going to type in another field here or filter. It's going to be very similar. The only difference is we're going to say we want to look at everything that's not in this date range. So I have a not description type and then the field. And I say I want to look at everything that's between 100 and 99. Does that make sense? If we're looking at everything that's not between 100 and 999, then we know it doesn't live in here. So when I hit play here, we're going to see of our 10,500 incidents that we have, or 87 incidents, when I hit play, we're going to see we have 1,100 that are missing an incident type. Now, important to remember with this organization, these aren't filtered down. Those could be units that didn't go arrival. They could be all sorts of different variables there. The important note here is that we have all of our incidents accounted for. So if I can go over to options and I show the total, we could see that we get our 10,587. So we have all of our incidents counted, same as before. All right. So the last thing that we're going to do is label these, because nobody wants a report that says description.inc_type NFIRS_code. Nobody wants that. So we're going to do a label. If I click on the little price tag label item here, I can add a label to this and tell it to be whatever I want. Conveniently for me, I have these pre-typed in here. So I'm going to fill these out because I've already typed them out. And again, we'll do a little fast forward movie magic to push through this, and then I'll show you what the end result looks like. Okay, we're back. We did fast forward. I don't type that fast. But you can see now we have all of these labels here, and we want to activate these labels. So to do that, all I have to do is hit the play button. Okay, so now we've taken all of those labels that we have that were kind of, a little tough to read, and we've put them into something that's a little palatable. We have NFIRS 100s, 200s, 300s, so forth and so on. We have our total down here at the bottom if we want. If we don't want a total, we can just click on options and then come over here to show total and get rid of it. Same thing, I can activate it and it gets rid of it. So just some options there for you. So last thing we're gonna do is title this. I'm going to put a 2 on there just because this is the sample one that I built. And then I'll save it. Once I save it, it exists. I can drop it in any dashboard that I want. So that's it. I hope that was educational for those of you who were interested. And as always, in the bottom right-hand corner, more than likely just under the video, you'll see there's some step-by-step instructions on how we got here. keep those ideas coming. If there's something that you want to see, we're happy to do a how it's done video for you. Just shoot an email to me and we'll get it built out for you. Thanks and have a great day.